What's going on, guys? Thought I'd get you guys some 2K gameplay. Don't expect it to be like crazy and anything because it's not the focus of the video. So, focus of this video is going to be on advantages in particular. And when we talk about it, is like the question is, should people have advantages over other people? Now, when we talk about advantages, we're basically what I'm basically talking about is should you be given a step above other people if you're in the same category, you're in the same spot, you like I don't know, like tried out the same way, same credentials as them. My answer to this question would be no, 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 no. You should never ever be given a step above anybody else, especially if you're all in the same boat. If you're all doing the same things, I can understand if someone like if we're talking about like academics in schools and stuff. You should definitely have access to more education, especially if you're placed in in a bad neighborhood and you don't have the resources to get yourself to certain places. I'm fine with that. There's nothing wrong with that because I understand that you're backed into a corner and you're forced to, you're forced into making certain decisions. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is basically when it comes to things like auditions, trying out for stuff, that sort of thing. I was watching the news a while back, and I remember this commentator talking about these cheerleading tryouts. Now, I'm not a cheerleader. I'm guessing some of you figured that. No. So, basically, what the school did is they canceled all cheerleading tryouts and allowed all the girls on the cheerleading team. Now, I'm not saying this is like that big of a deal. However, it really takes away from the effort that the other girls put in to be where they are. So, in my opinion, when it comes to those certain things, if you are in a position that you didn't try hard to get to, you should not be there. There is straight up. I'm gonna be straight with you guys. You should not be somewhere that you are not qualified to be. And when we talk about qualified, I mean actual qualifications, not just standards that a bunch of people set for you. Actual qualifications. If you are capable of doing something, you go through like a test for it, you audition for it, you try out for it, anything. You should be given that job. You should be given that job. You should be given that position. You should be able to be on whatever team, so long as you put in the effort to get there. I am not going to sit here and act like it is okay for many people because they are in a better place financially or they're well known by an administration. I'm not going to agree that it's okay to be placed above other people because that's wrong. That's wrong. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care how well known you are. I don't care how rich your parents are. I don't care if you're carrying 10 stacks in your pocket every single day. First off, bribery is not the way to go, and this is a bit, in my opinion, cowardly. You should never bribe people. I think this stuff goes beyond financial. It goes beyond anything financial. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care how much money you have. You should never be given an advantage over other people. It's wrong. It's wrong because you eliminate those qualifications for others. You take away opportunities from people that they might have tried so hard for. It's like say I audition for a performing arts school. Say I audition and I was clearly terrible. I was really, really bad. And someone else who comes up before me does really, really good, but I end up getting in. That's not right. Clearly, if I wasn't good, then I'm not good enough. It's like, and clearly that's not always going to happen. This stuff doesn't always happen. But the whole thing with the cheerleaders thing is like, you really kind of took away from what those girls did in order to participate, in order to be able to participate as cheerleaders. There's a lot of work that has to be put into certain things, especially when it involves athletes and sports, when it involves those type of things. I'm not going to sit here and act like if LeBron James didn't put in 110%, he wouldn't be the greatest basketball player today. I'm not going to act like that. If LeBron James was not drafted because he was an incredible athlete, then he doesn't belong in the NBA. You should not be placed anywhere for any other reason other than the effort that you put in, whether it's a test to get into a school, whether it's proper vocal control to get into a performing arts high school, whether it's your athleticism to get on a sports team, get on a cheerleading squad, to get on a basketball team. When I was in high school, this is a bit of a small story. When I was in high school, I tried out for the basketball team. Now, I wasn't good, but I didn't think I was terrible. That's where I messed up, because I knew I was terrible. The reason why I thought it'd be pretty simple is that, oh, okay, so we're just gonna go into the gym and do a couple stretches, and then we're gonna run some practice games. No, we did so many other things that I did not see coming, and almost everybody except me took the whole thing seriously. We were running laps after laps after laps, doing like tons of push-ups, sit-ups, like everything. We were doing so much stuff. By the time we got to the actual tryouts, I was exhausted because I didn't prepare myself for this. I didn't expect to get tired at the beginning of it, or to get tired in the middle of it. There was a problem there, and because of that, I didn't get on the team. Well, to be fair, I didn't show up the second day, but again, I didn't get in because I didn't put in the effort. I didn't put in the effort. I thought it was going to be a walk in the park, and that was my fault. Now, do I wish the school had given me like a chance and said, "Hey, you're on the team anyway"? No, guaranteed. If at that time the team told me, "Do you want to be on the basketball team?" I would have said no, because if you're required to try out, you have to be good as an athlete. At that time, I wasn't a good basketball player. I barely knew how to shoot, and these days I still barely know how to play basketball. The point I'm trying to make is that if you are not actually qualified and you do not have the credentials, you don't have the skills, you don't have the abilities that you need to be somewhere, you do not belong there. Do not, special treatment. No, you don't deserve special treatment. No one deserves special treatment. You deserve opportunities. You should always be given an opportunity to do something. However, don't expect those opportunities to go beyond that of what they are. Don't expect them to go beyond of what they are. That's all they are opportunities. Just because you have an opportunity, it does not mean you should expect special treatment if you did not do good enough. And I understand that there are some people who do try really hard for certain things and still end up getting turned down. I'm sorry. I apologize for that, because I know people. I'm one of those people. When I auditioned for a performing arts high school. That's why I used the example earlier. I auditioned for a performing arts high school. I thought I did pretty well. A couple weeks later, I got a letter that said that they turned me down. I was sad, but then I realized something. I'm going to use this as motivation to get better as a singer, to get better as an artist. And I did get better as an artist over time. And to be honest, I didn't think about that audition for a long time. I didn't. Anytime it came to mind, it was just motivation for me to do better. So whenever you do get turned down for certain things, you should always use that as motivation, because understand, an organization isn't always going to tell you how good you are. It's not. You could be really good at something and not be recognized for it. However, some organizations work differently. But if you are like really, really not good, and I mean like if you really stink at something, you're not good enough. Don't expect them to move you up because you want it, If you really want it, you have to put in the effort to get it. And that means training, that means exercising, that means studying, that means being on the highest level you could possibly be. I wasn't on the highest level that I could possibly be at when I was trying out for the basketball team. I didn't train, I didn't stretch, I didn't run, I didn't practice around hoops. I just straight up walked through the gym and said, "All right, let's do this." I just straight up walked to the gym on a Saturday morning and said, you know what, let's do this. How stupid was I? So, like I said, I didn't get in. That's because I wasn't good enough. It was not because I was like, it was not because like the whole thing was rigged. And don't think everything is rigged, guys. Sometimes you're just not good enough for certain things. And that's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. Not everybody is like, terrible at certain things that they try really hard at. But sometimes some things aren't meant for everybody. There are some things that people are incapable of doing. And sometimes you just don't have sometimes there are people who have a real connection to something, and they turn out to be very, very good at it. Sometimes better than other people. When you think about all the past athletes, would they be as good as they are today if they were just given a step above other people? No. Serena Williams. If everything was just handed to her, she wouldn't be as great as she is today. Michael Jordan wouldn't have been as good a player as he was if everything was handed to him. No. If you want to be the greatest, you gotta train like the greatest. You gotta train your mind, train your arms, train your legs, your muscles. You gotta build. You gotta build yourself. And that's motivation. That's motivating yourself. You have to motivate yourself. Motivating yourself isn't just telling yourself that you want to do something. It is putting in the effort to do that. So, basically that's all I wanted to say. I don't think a lot of people should have certain advantages over other people because they're well known, they have more money. Wealth is that's a factor of your life that shouldn't really contribute to getting somewhere that requires a lot of effort in a particular field or an area of something. So that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. You guys probably have a different one, but that's perfectly fine. Anyway, I wanted to hit you guys with this vlog because I had been planning it for quite a while, and I'm glad I got to share it with you guys. If you have any suggestions for stuff you want me to talk about, please comment in the comment section below. I am free to a lot of suggestions, and you all have a really nice day. 2 cents out.